What's going on YouTube? Haul here, real quick video. So didn't plan on doing a video today, but I'm in towing mode, and I pulled my landscape trailer about less than 10 miles away to like our carport car wash because I wanted to wash it off because I'm selling it tomorrow. So did that. As soon as I put it into towing mode, I was about 190 charge, and then it dropped down to like 103 because when you go into towing mode, it does that, which I read because you're up to 11,000 pounds because it needs the power. Went there, not much change in the mileage because, like I said, it was very little, so maybe down to high 90s. Got there, park, hit the car wash mode because just sprayed off my truck, then I sprayed off the trailer. No wash or anything, really just sprayed everything down. Got back in my truck, unhit the car wash mode, jump back into my truck, put it in drive. When I put it in drive, my mileage went up to 625. 625 miles. 625 miles. So I took a picture of that, which I can pop up in the video, but I want to prove to you that this is real because I'm here right now. I'm going to flip the, I'm going to flip the screen around. I'm not at 625. Hold on, I gotta switch. So as you can see, right now, I'm at 518. You can see I'm in trailer mode. You can see my trailer. You can see I'm in towing mode. I just got back to my house, which is, less than 10 miles away. Towing mode, that's kind of all my parameters. And that's 518. So, one sec. Put you back in here. So, I don't know how that happened, and it went from 625, held 625 for probably a couple miles, and then it started dropping, then dropped quicker, then we got down to 518, and I just got home. So now I'm parked, it's at 518. I'm going to unhook the trailer and see if anything changes, and then I'll get back to you in like a real quick second, and I'm going to plug it in then inside my garage and see if it recalculates itself then. But right now I'm sitting at 518 miles. Does this mean that there's a possibility that these batteries and setups could be updated to go over the 360-mile range? Did I find a cheat code for Rivian? Probably not, but probably a glitch in the matrix. Anyway, let's check out. I'm going to unhook the trailer, come back in, see if the mileage changes, and I'm going to then plug it in, and then I will be back with you to update you shortly. One second. All right, so just unhooked the trailer. No change on the 518. Let me pull in the garage real quick, plug it in, and then I'll actually show you what happens to the or because it hasn't changed. Trust me, right now it hasn't changed. Once we get in the garage, I'll actually show you whether it changed or not. I'll be right back. It just changed. I didn't move. I literally hit the brake, put it into drive, and it just went down. It just went down to 180. Hold on. Let me switch you around. I'll be right back. It's now 180. So, hold on. So, does that mean, like, because I was only pulling a landscape trailer, maybe 2,500, 3,000 pounds, and this is good for 11. Like, when you're in towing mode and you have a light load, does that mean you have, like, extra juice because it, like, torques everything up? Was that a real figure? I gotta look. I'll have to look in the, I'm gonna have to look in the towing section of the owner's manual and see what that says. Sorry, my lighting isn't too great because I was just super excited that it was that crazy. Because they said when you go into towing mode, like it majorly drops, which is exactly what it did. Soon as you plug in the lighting prongs, like the cable from the trailer into the truck, as soon as that did, and I jumped back in my truck, my mileage dropped to the towing mileage, which I said went from 190-ish to 103-ish. And then, by the time I got over there, it hovered around high 90s. And then when I jumped back in, it went way up to 625 and then dropped from that point. But nothing was really consistent, right? It was 625. I only went about 10 miles and it dropped down to 518. So it had to be a glitch. We're back down to normal. We're at 180. We didn't find the cheat code. I'm going to look in the owner's manual though. If I come up with anything, I'll make a quick synopsis video probably after this one. Maybe I'll just put it out as a YouTube short. We'll see. But I thought that was pretty cool, pretty fascinating. I unlocked 625 in the Rivian R1T. Whoa! All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, what is going on, YouTube? Haul back. So the whole 635-mile towing incident happened last night. It is now the next day. I actually called Tyler, who's my Rivian rep, and asked some questions about towing that was kind of wrapped around this incident as well, because I wanted to get some feedback. So he just got back to me probably about a half an hour ago. I called him, mid-morning. He got back to me early afternoon. So, a couple things. The first question I asked was, do you have to put the Rivian in tow mode every time you hook up a trailer, or is there some specified weight that is above or below that you don't have to? So the answer to that is always put your truck in tow mode, because the truck during tow mode is learning the type of weight you're pulling, and it'll fluctuate how your truck performs. Tyler did mention on the call that one of the reasons they ask you to put it in tow mode is because it turns off regenerative braking, and I said actually it doesn't, because when I go into tow mode my regen braking still stayed on high. But what it does do is when you plug in your trailer, your brake on your regenerative braking stays on, and then your actual brake for your truck also does like a trailer brake, so you don't get that all that weight pushing you and pushing against the regenerative braking. You should be using both when you're in tow mode. So you can see that it's a little highlighted thing on like your main speedometer dash. So if you're pulling a trailer, as soon as you hook up, it'll ask you to go into tow mode. Right when you plug in the electronics of your trailer, you should hit OK and go into tow mode. He said don't ever pull a trailer not in tow mode, because your truck's learning how and what types of things you're going to be towing. So the one reason is the setback for tow mode is that it automatically drops your mileage, on your battery heat. But which leads me to my next step, right? So we got 635 miles. What was funny is I told him that, and he goes, you are the second person that I've heard that from that has happened to, that called Tyler specifically. So obviously it must have been another one of his customers that had the same issue. So he got with the dev company or the service company, or the service part of their company, and came back and said, this is how they pretty much, he said this is the analogy they use. So the old like dial scales, right, where it wasn't digital, it was more of a like an analog type setup. So when you would step on that scale, right, the meter goes up and it kind of is like, it swings the needle, and then when you step off, that needle actually swings and swings down past zero, and then kind of centers itself into zero. So same thing is going on with your truck in the sense of the calibration. And that wasn't the analogy I had in my head. I was thinking of it as as the truck's calibrating, it needs some sort of denominator to go off of. If you think of it like it's trying to do a division of understanding like the schematics of your truck pulling the weight. It's looking at, I only probably have like 20 miles of historical data that the truck's using to understand what my normal towing range should be. So because the historical data in the data set is so small, like it shot up my range. And then even today, like I drove the trailer to sell it today, and this afternoon, I was up over like 220 in range, when really my charge, as soon as I unhooked the trailer, dropped down to like 175. So it wasn't like, it wasn't the 600 difference, but from no trailer to trailer, it's down to like a 50-mile difference instead of like a 400-mile difference. So it very quickly honed in. We're only talking about a couple of miles and a couple of drives in that. So, but realize that when the first time you plug your R1T in and you plug it into that trailer mode, you may have a spike of your range because it's trying to calibrate itself for tow mode, and the data set is so small. So it's taking a very small data set and trying to compound that into what it should be. And over time, which is why you should be in tow mode, it'll learn. And then also your truck reacts differently for braking and performance when you're in tow mode. So you should always be in tow mode whenever you hook up a trailer. That's what I learned from Tyler today. That's the feedback I got, and those are the questions I asked him. So no matter what kind of trailer you are pulling, doesn't matter the weight, put the truck in tow mode, and you will have a calibration time period where your mileage will be a little wacky, but it's because it's trying to figure it out with a small data set. Yeah, so I was super excited. I thought I figured out a way to get 600 miles. That is not true. It'll be somewhere in the normal range, and then based on your weights, it'll calibrate itself. So as the truck learns more about what you do, what you're doing with the truck, those numbers will get even more and more accurate. So I think that's it. So that is the whole 635 mileage hack for towing. Little feedback there on towing as well. One thing that I asked when I got my delivery, I asked about my Jeep Gladiator had a little plus sign on the backup camera for like hooking up to a trailer. So when you hit the plus sign, it like zoomed in right above the ball hitch. This doesn't have that, but what it does is it kind of already does that. So your backup mode when you have a hitch on, it's zoomed in and it's very good. It's almost exactly like the plus sign without having to have the plus sign. So it's automatically doing it, and the camera literally sits right above your hitch. So it was super easy to line it up with the trailer. I got it on the first try and it was great. So I did do a YouTube short on that as well, so you can check that out. That whole process of showing you the screen, you know, I nailed the spot of where I needed to be, and then also showed a short clip of the camera angles you can watch while you're pulling a trailer. So you can actually watch the trailer behind you, and it shows you your bird's eye view while you're driving. So it doesn't show the trailer, just shows like the front of the trailer, shows your truck in the bird's eye view, but you can see a direct camera of the trailer being pulled behind you. So that's also kind of cool. So that's it around towing, 635 mileage. So realize it's a data calibration thing. That's straight from the Rivian reps and the service techs at Rivian. So that's all I got. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.